am I audible? Yeah. Good evening, sir. Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Today, the topic of discussion is Central University's Common Entrance Test, which is an entrance test to get into the Central Universities. Till now, 12 Central Universities have been participating in this test conducted by the National Testing Agency for both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. However, from this year onwards, all the 42 Central Universities, which include names like Delhi University, JNU, BHU, Hyderabad University, will admit students through this test. CUCET will provide a single window opportunity to the students to seek admission in these participating universities across the country. Today, we have Dr. Phul Singh, who is Dean of the School of Engineering and Technology at Central University of Haryana, and who is also the nodal officer of CUCET. Dr. Singh received his PhD in mathematics from Banasthal University in the area of computational fluid dynamics and did his MPhil, MSc, and BSc from Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak. He has been working at the Central University of Haryana as professor of mathematics and is an active researcher and has published more than 70 research papers in international journals of repute. Welcome, Dr. Singh. Sir, am I audible?
Sir, I think your voice is not audible.
Oh.
Please see, sir.
I'm okay, audible, so was any part of the, the total intro that I said, was anything audible to you?
Sir, I think somebody has written that voice is getting lagged or something. I'm audible, sir?
Yeah, you are very much audible. Okay, so welcome, Dr. Singh. So first of all, we would like to understand from you what exactly is Central University Common Entrance Test, which is CUCET, and what changes are going to happen from this year.
I don't know, sir, what is happening, but I'm not able to hear you.
Okay, sir, I'm saying that could you give us a brief about the CUCET?
Okay, somehow I get that you want to know about CUCET.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, let me tell the audience that now it is not CUCET, it is CUET, Central University's Entrance Test. And it would be held in the CBT mode. CBT means computer-based mode. So there are two things. One is for UG and another is for postgraduate, PG. For UG, basically a candidate choose as far as 6 domain tests in addition to their 1 or 2 languages and general test. So let's suppose there's a university, it has a program, say BSc Mathematics or BA Psychology. So CUCET will be conducted by NTA only, National Testing Agency, and they will assess you in 6 domains plus 2 languages, 1 or 2 languages and general test. So it's depend upon the candidate which subject out of this 6 domain test, whether he want to go for 1, 2 or 3 or 4, any combinations. So it's complete flexibility.
Okay. So
as I'm telling you about the UG, there would be a test in shift 1, which consists of section 1, which is of basically first section is of language. You can choose any language, basically Bengali, English, Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Odia, Punjabi, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. So basically this test will be conducted in 13 languages. There would be 50 questions and student need to answer only 40, and the times allotted for this particular assessment is 45 minutes, and it would be compulsory for all UG programs. Then you have section 2, it has 27 domain specific subjects. Out of that, you can choose 45 minutes each. So 90 plus 45. And third section will be general test. It is basically 60 question would be there to attempt out of 75, and there would be 60 minutes allotted for that. So for shift one, basically you have one language, two domains, and one general test. So test would be of 3 hours and 15 minutes. Also, it depends upon the student. Suppose a student want to give only one domain test. Let's suppose he want to appear only for mathematics. Then for him, 45 minutes will be reduced. So this is the shift one. For shift two, basically, if a student want other than these two domains, he can choose 4 other domains also out of 27 domains. So in shift two, 4 domains and one language specific, which is not mentioned in the first set. So basically it would be 3 hours and 45 minutes test. So domain specific will consist of accountancy, biology, business studies, chemistry, computer science, economics, engineering graphics, geography, history, home science, knowledge tradition, Indian practices, legal studies, commercial arts, mathematics.
Sir, can you speak a bit louder? Can you speak a bit louder?
So this is basically for. I am not audible.
Your voice is low, and many of the students are also pointing that. So just speak a bit louder. Maybe there is some voice lag or something.
My voice is breaking. So I'm again joining.
Yes.
Let me see if that could help. Let me join again to this meeting.
Sure. So far what we have understood is that this CUCET, which is going to be turned into CUET, is going to be conducted in 13 languages and in 2 parts.
I am audible, sir.
Yes, sir. It's very much now. It is.
I'm not getting
now
the proper
this is better.
voice. So allow me to join with the phone. Maybe.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Whichever is comfortable to you. I see many of the students talking about PG. So first we'll talk about UG courses, the admission into undergraduate courses, then we'll talk about the postgraduate ones.
Good evening, sir. I am audible. I am audible, sir.
Sir, voice is breaking now. Earlier it was better, I think.
But now I can get your voice back.
Okay, now.
Okay. All the good evening to all present here. And I told you about the basic structure of CUCET, Central University's Common Admission Test.
Sir, I'll just request you to repeat whatever you said. in brief, not in detail, but in brief, once again, if you could repeat, because many of the students were not able to hear, and there are some queries again coming for the same thing.
Okay. So what I told you is that CUET will be held in CBT mode, computer-based test only, and there would be some UG and PG, and it will be conducted by NTA, National Testing Agency, and maybe within 10 days we are getting the forms, and test would be in July as we have planned, but let's see. Dates are not yet finalized and the process is still going. So as far as UG is concerned, there would be 6 domain tests. Like suppose a student want to go for maths, physics, chemistry, biology, or economics. So these are the 6, not specific these. So a student can choose 6 domain subject in addition to languages and general test. For this is for only, and medium of examination is basically any 13 languages, and language include Assamese, Bengali, English, Hindi, Gujarati, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Odia, Tamil, Punjabi, Telugu, and Urdu. So question paper, as NTA has the pattern, they are conducting this test in 13 languages. So if we consider for UG test, I am audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible.
Okay, sir. As far as UG test is concerned, there would be 2 tests will be conducted in 2 shifts. In shift 1, we have section 1, 2, 3. Section 1 is of language test, which will be compulsory for all. It would contain 50 questions. A student required to answer only 40. And test would be on reading, comprehension, basically factual literacy, narrating, etc., etc. Then we have section 2, which contain 2 domain tests. There again, your student has to answer 40 questions out of 50, and 45 minutes are assigned to this test, means 45 for each domain. And last, section 3 will consist of general test, which has 60 questions to attempt out of 75. All these questions are MCQ based, and there are 60 minutes. So in general, shift 1 will have 1 language, 2 domain, and 1 general test. So duration will be 3 hours and 15 minutes. If a student want that he required to attempt other domains also, so in shift 2 he can attempt 4 domain test and 1 additional language test. And this additional language could be French, German, Nepali, Persian, Italian, Arabic, Hindi, Kashmiri. So many languages are there. So this is as far as UG is concerned. For PG, they have to attempt basically general test and domain specific test. Domain specific test will be quite resemble to their domain. Suppose a student want to appear for physics, so he or she will going to attempt physics only. So this is the brief outline, sir, of
Sir, one thing that I want to understand is that now, before this, only 12, which were the newly established central universities, were admitting students through this test. Now that bigger universities with more number of seats and large number of students participating in these courses will become part of it, how this whole thing will be managed, because I'm sure that the application numbers are going to be in lakhs, because Delhi University itself gets more than 3 lakh applications for 60,000 UG seats. So how this whole huge number, which we'll see for all the older universities joining, will be managed, and how students will get preference. I mean, if a student want to get into a certain university, how that will be done?
Okay, basically what is happening nowadays is that different central universities are offering different admissions. Let's suppose DU is offering a set of admission, then BHU, then JNU, and these new 14 central universities are offering through a combined test. So what Government of India has given directive is that students should not be penalized. So if they have to appear for JNU, they are purchasing different form. So at Shell, in the net Shell, sir, basically they are uh, we are going to conduct only single test for all these central universities, and this will be managed by NTS. See, NTS already managed test of JEE mains and NEET, where they get lakhs of forms. So they had the experience, and I'm sure they can easily do it. As far as a student is concerned, basically just like any any test, they will just release the score. Let's suppose a student appear for physics, he will get a score in physics. He appear for mathematics, he will get score in mathematics. For psychology, a score will be of psychology. So now a student has a mark sheet which contains scores. And if he want to apply to it, let's suppose Delhi University psychology course. So there he will apply with that score, and depending upon his merit, he or she will be going to select it. So this is the process.
Mhm. Okay. Sir,
And
one of the questions that we have received from students is that what will be the syllabus for CUCET? I mean, what all things they need to consider while preparing for this test?
syllabus will be UGC model curriculum for, let's suppose, for UG or PG. There are syllabus basically, and overall I think more, if we consider for 10+2, because there are various boards and all these things are there. So domain specific means, let's suppose for mathematics, every CBSE syllabus would be there. We have not yet finalized on the syllabus, but certainly there will be some guidelines about the syllabus. Finalized.
Okay.
So I'm not the right person to comment on this particular topic.
Sir, now I'll pick up some questions from the chat because I see over 100 questions which have already come in the chat box. I'll just pick up some of them. I'll just pick some common questions. I'll just pick. Is there BTech? I mean, will there be BTech admissions also happen through CUCET? If some engineering courses are being offered by some of the central universities, will the admission be through this?
So it depends upon the university. Basically, NT will conduct tests in domains. Let's suppose Central University of Haryana is offering admission in BTech program. Then he will see your score in maths, physics, chemistry, like that. So a student can appear in math, physics, chemistry, basically domain specific test.
Okay. Sir, one of the questions that we have in Q&A is that Hannah has asked, I want to know the colleges under CUCET for BSc Economics. I think all the universities will be offering BSc Economics.
See, there are 47 central universities, which include DU, JNU, BHU, and many more. And list you can get from the UGC website, and you can surf through the universities and get the courses.
Okay. Does your university, Central University of Haryana, also offers this course?
Which one, sir? BSc?
BSc Economics?
No, sir. We have limited UG courses, which include BTech and BSc Maths, BSc MSc integrated courses in Math, Physics, and Chemistry, and BSc Psychology. We don't have a BSc Economics or BA Economics.
Sir, another question that I have is that is CUCET admission? Will there be admissions for online degree courses also through CUCET? Because now most of the central universities are also going to offer online degree programs.
It may be in the sense that see, if we have in ordinance, we have the provision that any admission would be through an entrance test. offering some online degree courses or something like that, then your marks in that particular domain will be counted, because we are getting a lot of application. We have to shortlist the students. So this would be the criteria.
One of the students has again asked when application form will be released for UG courses. I think you have already said that within 10 days, application
Within 10
forms will be
days.
out.
Yeah.
And examinations will be conducted in the month of July.
July. So these are the rough dates basically.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the finalizing stage and still we are doing that. So this is just the rough dates which I am sharing with you.
Mm-hmm. Another question, another student has asked a question. When is the correct time to apply for CUCET? What rank would be considered as safe? He has not mentioned about UG or PG, but if you could give us a rough idea. I mean, how has been the trend in the past? I mean, the examinations that have happened.
Okay. This is a competitive exams, and score between 40% to 65% would be enough to secure a good university.
Okay, 40 to 50%.
40 to 60% basically.
40 to 60%. And sir, what exactly is the system for PG admissions in CUCET? Like, are the forms going to be out along with the UG forms? And
Along with the
admissions
UG, yes, form will be out along with the UG.
Okay. Sir, next question that I have is, how much, again, is the same question that the student has asked. So, syllabus and which books should be preferred for preparation? So, syllabus, I think you have already said that CBSE and state board, I mean, they need to understand what exactly from their +2 standards only. So, are there any reference books also?
See, this time all these central universities are conducting first time only. So I don't think there's some reference or manual available in the market. But somehow your standard textbook would be enough to test your knowledge.
Sir, another question that we have is that what will be the syllabus if a science stream student wants to opt for BA programs? I mean, maybe he is trying to understand what exactly he need to, I mean, study.
He is required to do. So basically, if he a science PCM student, basically I read that question. A student has PCM, physics, chemistry, mathematics background, and if you want to go for a BA, say BA history or something like that, obviously he has to read 11, 12 books of history, and he has to appear for history specific domain test.
Okay.
So your marks in that particular domain will be counted as the entrance set. It is not
next
so
question.
Math and physics marks will be counted for history. If you want to go for history, then you have to attempt for history specific test only.
Okay, okay. Sir, one of the student, Jatin, has asked, any changes in the exam pattern of PG? Are there any changes in the examination pattern for PG?
No, it would be almost same. Also, we would have some more domain basically. Let's suppose in earlier test, you are given only 1 or 2 domains. Let's suppose if a PCM student or a BSc non-medical student can go for math, physics, chemistry. So now you have more choices. You can attend for 4 to 6 domains in different shift basically. So flexibility is more. You can have a broader domain where you can go for.
Okay. Sir, another question Neeta Datta has asked, which domain for BCom will be required to be given for PCM in 10+2 students?
There's a domain which is known as, please repeat this question.
Which domain for BCom will be required to be given for PCM in 10+2? I think probably she is asking that if a student has taken PCM in 10+2, which domain of BCom will be required? I mean, probably she wants to get into BCom, and what should she take? The question is not clear, but still.
Yeah, I understand the question. Basically, the question is that which domain, which particular domain should prepare. See, we have finalized 27 domain and commerce is not the part of these domains. So now it depends upon the central university. Let's suppose if we have a BCom program, then we will first announce that we are going to take student if they have this mathematical background, mathematical test, or let's suppose computer knowledge or business studies are there. So commerce student may test for business studies, mathematics, and other. So it depends upon actually the university. University will float along with the forms that if you require to attempt this university, then they will going to test you from this backgrounds, domains basically.
Another question one of the student has asked, what about the marking scheme of CUAT?
Last year, basically, first of all, let me tell you, there is no negative marking. And
Okay.
as I told you that there would be 50 questions and student required to attempt 40 questions for language in 45-minute time will be there, because the computer, you are seeing question on computer and there are random 50 questions you require to attempt 40 only. When you attempt 40, then time will be stopped and like that. So marking is that they are giving four correct marks. Last year they are doing that.
Okay. And sir, there's another question that has been asked. Is SIF 2 compulsory? SIF
Sorry,
2.
repeat.
The examination will be taken place in two shifts. So
It
one
is
of the
not.
students has
It
asked.
is not. It is not at all compulsory, sir. It is not at all compulsory. It actually enhances the domain, more flexibility only. It is not compulsory.
Okay. Once again, many of the students has asked this question: how many central universities offer BA International Relation? Could you give a brief about this thing? Any overview, if you could?
Not right now, sir. Basically, when form will be there, na, you can see the bunching that if this particular course is offered by these universities. When form will be out, you can see that. But at this moment, I don't have that data with me.
Okay, okay. One of the student, Ronak Mukherjee, is asking, explain the admission process for media and communication course. So probably it's he's looking for to understand UG and PG. I think it's going to be same for that. Or if you want to add something.
For UG, basically, there is a specific domain test, mass media and media communication, mass communication. So they require to attempt that domain to get through this particular area.
Okay. One of the student, Meenakshi, has asked, is HCU part of CET? I think HCU is Hyderabad Central University, which is probably pointing it, and that is going to be part of. Another student is asking, is Mumbai University part of CUT, which is not? I mean, Mumbai University being a state university is not part of CUCET.
Yeah.
So, sir, could you give us, I mean, if you could speak name of some of the universities so that they get an idea of, okay, these are the universities which are going to participate this year. I'm sure it's a very long list of 47 universities
Yeah, it's a
naming
long
from.
list, but still, Central University Haryana, Central University Punjab, Central University Jammu, Central University Kashmir, Central University Rajasthan, Central University Gujarat, Central University Jharkhand, South Bihar, then Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, then Central University Odisha. These are the 14 new universities, along with the previous old one like Delhi University, like JNU, like DU, like VHU, and many other Bilaspur University. So universities are, there is a long list.
Which they can anyway check the list of central
You will
universities.
see
All of them will be
university portal,
participating this
they
year.
can see that.
Sir, one question is again coming from many of the students is that how many universities will have BTech? So is CUCET, will there be admission to BTech courses through CUCET, or that's a totally separate process for BTech courses?
So again, my answer is same, that it depend upon the central university only. Suppose if I talk about Central University of Rajasthan, they do have BTech program, but admission is through JEE Mains. If we talk about Central University of Karnataka, they have 50% quota of CUCET and 50% JEE Mains. If we talk about Central University of Haryana, let's suppose, they have 100% through CUCET. So it depends upon the university specific, basically, from where they will want to take. And this will be already will be given. Although we were told that this time take BTech student from JEE Mains only.
Okay, so this year BTech admissions will happen through JEE Mains only.
Yeah.
But still, a student can check when the form is out. They can check which all universities are offering BTech courses in that, and they can apply accordingly.
They can attempt math, physics, chemistry, biology, etc. Out of this, there are 6 domains.
Okay, okay. Sir, some of the students are asking if you could please repeat on showing the exam pattern. Just if you could give a brief once again about the exam pattern. Briefly, if you could just speak, because many of the students have joined later and they're asking this question.
Okay, CUCET will be of CBT mode. So computer-based mode is candidate required to take a language and general test along with 6 domain tests. He can choose 6 domain tests. It depends upon the student whether he want to take 1 domain, 2 domain, but maximum we can offer is 6 domain tests. And medium of the examination will be any 13 prescribed languages, which include Assamese, Bengalis, all regional languages almost, I can say. And for UGO, what I'm saying is, if a student can appear for SIFT 1, and in SIFT 1, basically they have 3 sections. Section 1 contain language, which will be compulsory for all. Language could be any from the 13 languages. And there are 50 questions. A student required to attempt only 40, and minutes are 45. Question will be of reading, comprehension, etc. And there is a section 2, which will be have domain specific. You can choose 2 domain in SIFT 1, and all test will be MCQ based, and 45 minutes for each domain. So 90 plus 45 minute test. So in section 3, basically you have general test. You require to attempt 60 question out of 75. This is MCQ type only, and 60 minutes will be assigned.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir, for repeating once again this thing. One of the questions that I have received right now is that, is CUCET necessary to give for all universities and colleges? So what we understand is that CUCET is compulsory for, if you want to take admission in a central university or its affiliated colleges, you will have to give this test.
Yes.
Okay, sir, one question that I also want to understand is that Asis has asked, I want to do MTech civil engineering admissions and CUCET through. So how will this be done? Again, is it going to be same process for PG courses?
Yeah, it would be same as for the PG courses.
Okay. One of the students, yeah, please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
There will be a of and you require to appear for that, get admission. And
okay. Sir, next question, one of the student Kanak Rathi is asking, sir, what would be great if you can put some light on mass communication courses? So if you could give a brief about the UG and PG course admission of the mass communication. I think you have already told that it's a different process which all institutions are offering. They'll be doing this. If you could once again tell that.
Say, if you want to take admission in UG, there will be a separate domain, which is mass media and mass communication. And similarly for PG, there's a special domain, mass media and mass communication. You require to appear for that particular domain to secure admission in PG or UG mass media communication course.
Okay. One of the student is asking, if I clear CUET, then is it needed for me to clear DUET also to get admission in Delhi University? Malvika is asking this question.
No, no, basically your DUET is now CUET. That's all.
Okay, so DUET has been merged into CUET.
Yeah.
Another question that I see, are there private universities which are also opting for CUCT, which is a no? Private university are not part of CUET process right now. One of the question Puspa is asking is, BLED course is available in DU through CUCET. I think probably she's asking, is BLED course offered by DU? Will it be through CUCET?
So CUCT will be often only two types of courses, UG and PG. Other courses like PhD and all, that will be separate to particular university.
Once again, Malvika is asking, is class 11th and 12th books enough to study for CUET? I think this is a very common question.
That would be enough.
The students are also asking, are there any eligibility criteria for CUCET? I think you need to be 12th appearing or 12th pass.
University specific, basically. That is university specific. CUCET will just conduct test and give you a score that you are scoring math in this, math in this, physics in this, and based upon your score, you can apply to university. That is separate procedure.
Okay. Sudipta is asking, admission will be based on CUET result only, or will the board exam marks will also make some difference? I mean, probably she still has this thing in mind, like Delhi University considering board examination marks. So she's asking, will board examination marks and CUCET score both will play a role in getting admission in a university?
My answer is same. That is university specific, basically. NTA will conduct test and give a score. And central universities in general usually take score only. But if some universities think that board marks would be there, they may include.
One of the student is asking, yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir. So this is basically a test where score will be released and admission process is separate.
And the admission process will be based on the score that the student will get in this thing?
Yeah, that may be dependent upon the university.
Okay, okay. For pursuing BTech in any of the established central universities, what domain we need to select to pursue the above courses? So probably he's talking about BTech. Once again, if you could talk about your university.
Chemistry, they can choose. They can choose math, physics, chemistry for BTech program.
Another question that, what about BA program? How to give exam for that? One of the student is asking. I think it will again be same. The admission process is going to be same.
Yes, it would be same basically for BA programs. Out of 27 domains, 25 is of BA only. So like history, home science, legal studies, then psychology, sociology, agriculture, so many fine arts, visual arts, Sanskrit. So they can choose from any of these domains.
Sir, will there be some domain specific test? One of the student is asking.
Yeah, what I told is that you can choose 6 domains and you can appear for those tests. A student can choose up to 6 domains.
Okay. I think Chandni is asking how much weightage for score to get a safe seat in college. I think you have already said between 40 to 60 is a safe score, that much you need to score. Sir, one thing, I mean, I also have this doubt in mind, like now that more number of universities are going to become part of it. I mean, are somewhere or the other, are the universities which have been already admitting students through CUCET, like Central University of Haryana, will their quality of a student get affected with bigger universities becoming part of it? Like the quality of a student you have been getting so far, is it going to be affected?
No, I think this will give student extra dimension. Earlier, what is happening is that suppose we are conducting CUCT and we are getting very good students, and then suddenly DU list is coming out. Students are moving from this place to there. So I think by doing at the same time, we can stop these practices. So in fact, student has better idea about a course because see they are for getting admission in Central University of Haryana, they paying fee, and again for another university they are again paying fee there. So now at the same time they have a very broad idea whether they can get the seat from this university or that. So refund fee issue will be very limited now. So this will be win-win situation for university as well as the students.
One of the student, Ishan, is asking, sir, score, will it be a percentile score or an absolute score?
It will be absolute score.
Absolute score. Okay. One of the student, Tanuja, is asking, can we attend both the shifts?
Yeah. If you want to appear for 6 domains, you require to appear for both shift 1, shift 2, both.
Sir, once again, if you could explain about the PG admission process, because many of the students are asking this thing in the chat.
PG admissions is on the similar lines of UG. Basically, they have 6 domains and they have a language test and they have journal ability test.
Okay. Sir, in the last leg of our discussion, could you give us a brief some of the points that we might not have covered and student could have missed, how to prepare for the CUCT and what all things to consider before going for this examination and what all changes have happened? Just give a brief and then we'll be going for it.
Just I want to say that student required to, especially for UG students, they require to sit on computer to appear in this test, and time will be always moving there. They should focus on time as well as question. So if they are sticking to some difficult question, they can skip that because you have more question, you require to attempt less. So don't stick to some question to a particular question if you are don't take much of time. And this is first time we are conducting, so we are ready for some hassles and all. But NT has a very vast experience of conducting IEEE, JEE mains and
Neat.
NEET sort of exams where a lot of students are
I think video got stuck somewhere. For students, we'll
for
be floating a
NT.
survey
Audible?
after this during this thing. Kindly fill up the survey and give us your feedback. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for your time.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for all that intervention. I am not getting your voice, therefore.
And that's fine. Maybe some glitch would have happened. Thank you very much. And student, you can post your questions in the chat box. We'll try to get answer of those questions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kindly fill up the feedback survey. It gives us an idea. Thank you.